Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this is your Red Pill News for Monday. April 1st. That's right, it's April Fool's Day. Well, you may think this first story is a joke, but apparently it's the real deal. We can all stop looking. All the speculation can just end right here, you guys. We've solved it. Justice Ginsburg has been cited. She was photographed at Temple Sinai in Washington, D.C. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was also caught on video walking through Reagan International Airport on Monday. The frail justice was helped through the airport by a female assistant. Apparently, she only ever leaves the house wearing the exact same outfit, which includes those little kitty heels, this fluffy, puffy gray coat, and her headscarf. So let's take a look. This is the first time Justice Ginsburg was caught on camera since her December cancer surgery. Now, the first thing I'm going to mention is that this is already the exact same footage that we saw previously. But, you know how the press is. We got to trust the mainstream media. If TMZ said it's true, it's true. Everybody, stop speculating right now. No thinking.
Hi, Justice Ginsburg. How are you doing? Everyone in America's wondering how you're doing right now.
It's nuts. It's
just fine.
Just fine? All right. Are you excited about all the success of all the RBG movie?
With a flywheel, one of my concepts.
All right, Harvey Levin, you've done good, boy. You've done good. Once again, you've caught Justice Ginsburg walking through Reagan International Airport. And, you've done such a spectacular job that you've staged the scene yet again in the perfect manner. She walks across, you get that question in about the RBG movie, she says she's fine, you hit all of the points. But maybe this time you might want to step it up another notch and have her do it in a different order, because this is clearly the same video we saw back in, what was it? It was last month, February, when she was caught walking through Reagan International Airport. Well, in case that wasn't good enough evidence, we also have Danielle Blumenthal, PhD, who follows me on Twitter, says that she saw Justice Ginsburg as Amos Oz Memorial Temple Sinai in Washington, D.C. Oy vey. Justice Ginsburg, if she can get out of the house to go to Temple, then she must be doing well enough to make a decision on the Supreme Court. So, apparently, Justice Ginsburg is alive and well. We can all stop looking. Everyone just stop speculating immediately. It's been solved. Now we know the truth. Well, after conservatives' heads exploded, learning that Justice Ginsburg was caught not once but twice in the last 24 hours, I guess it would have been 48. Sunday was at Temple Sinai. President Trump has made liberals' heads explode. Reportedly, Trump says that he will replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg with Catholic Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Oh, talk about oy vey. This is amazing. I love Amy Coney Barrett, and I have stated multiple times on my program that I thought she would be President Trump's next pick for Supreme Court. Muffin just showed up. Come on, get up here, honey. All right, so I love it. I love it that he's confirming this. Amy Coney Barrett, not only is she beautiful, but she's intelligent, and she's a Catholic. So we know how she's going to vote on a couple of key things. Liberals are praying this is an April Fool's joke. According to Axios, President Trump reportedly is saving conservative Catholic Judge Amy Barrett to replace fragile Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg when she leaves the court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is 86 years old and in questionable health. Well, Not that questionable because we've already seen her twice in the last 48 hours. Remember, guys, it's been a legitimate Ruth Bader Ginsburg sighting. President Trump has reportedly said he is saving Judge Amy Barrett of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit to replace Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court, according to Axios. Barrett was a popular choice among conservative activists as a candidate to replace Justice Anthony Kennedy before Trump eventually nominated Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Axios reported that Trump has made clear his desire to replace Ginsburg with Barrett since Kennedy's decision to retire, telling people on separate occasions, "I'm saving her for Ginsburg." Ooh, he likes to save the kill shot for last, doesn't he? According to the far-left Yahoo, stringent Catholics like Judge Amy Barrett are cultists. This is the type of anti-Christian filth that is promoted by the liberal media and Democrats today. Can you believe it? People worshiping, all right, as we should, giving praise, all right, doing what we need, not only what we need to do, but what we ought to do and what we know we should do in our hearts. Skeptics of Judge Amy Barrett's involvement with a group called People of Praise have questioned whether the group has demonstrated cult-like elements. Ugh. Via Yahoo, who are the People of Praise that Supreme Court contender Amy Coney Barrett belongs to? Many Christians view this time as a bona fide revival, a unique manifestation of God's power, similar to the great awakenings of the 18th and 19th and 21st centuries. This context, the intensity and earnestness of that time, helps explain some of the more esoteric and sometimes concerning elements of religious practice that have been attributed to People of Praise. The group's public reticence has contributed to accusations by former members that it attempts to influence the lives of its members in ways that, in the past, have crossed over into control and manipulation. Even in one of the most rigorous critiques of Barrett's group, a 152-page booklet written in 1997 by a former member named Adrian Reimers, there are numerous references to the powerful experience that swept up so many young people of faith during that time. Reimers notes the strong sense of euphoria that permeated the movement, not only in South Bend, Indiana, but all across the country. It seemed that the Holy Spirit was carrying us along, that all we had to do was respond to his manifest leadings, Reimers wrote of that time. And Reimers describes charismatic masses, prayer meetings, and large rallies in which participants felt an almost tangible sense of communion. What is wrong with that paragraph? This sounds like people having a spiritual experience, feeling the actual touch of the Lord, the Holy Ghost, at work in their life and in their soul. Nothing is wrong with this, and it is offensive to me that they are likening this to a cult. Because according to Yahoo, having an almost tangible sense of communion with God is a cultish experience. Really. And Jack Posobiec said Yahoo News goes full anti-Christian. Well, you guys know exactly what's going on. I don't even have to tell you. There's a reason they're trying to demonize Christians, Catholics, Christians of any type, I guess. Because the only true way for happiness and peace and prosperity is to follow the one true God. And they can't have you doing that because they want you to follow their false idols. And certainly they want the next Supreme Court justice to be someone built in the mold of the, until yesterday and today, the formerly missing Supreme Court justice. Well, looks like we've got a showdown. House Dems are preparing to subpoena Trump aides. They want the full Mueller report without redactions. Jerry Nadler, ready for business. He's wearing his big boy pants, and you can tell by that look on his face. House Democrats are gearing up to subpoena Mueller's full report without redactions, the underlying documents as well as docs from 5 former Trump aides in a potential series of legal showdowns. Instead of serving their constituents, House Dems plan to hold a vote on Wednesday to authorize subpoenas to continue the Trump-Russia collusion canard. Love the alliteration. Congress requires the full and complete special counsel report without redactions, as well as access to the underlying evidence, House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler said in an emailed statement Monday. Attorney General Barr has thus far indicated he will not meet the April 2nd deadline set by myself and 5 other committee chairs and refuse to work with us to provide the full report without redactions to Congress. The Attorney General should reconsider so that we can work together to ensure the maximum transparency of this important report to both Congress and the American people. Bloomberg reported the Judiciary Committee said it also plans to authorize subpoenas for certain documents from former White House counsel Don McGahn, former White House strategist Steve Bannon, former Communications Director Hope Hicks, former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, and former White House aide Ann Donaldson. The committee said these individuals or their lawyers may have received documents from the White House relevant to Mueller's investigation, and that would waive any right to cite executive privilege or other claims from being used to block requests for documents. Trump has already stated he wants the full report put out. Okay, he said put it out there unredacted. Okay, but the thing is, there are people's names in there who have not been charged with crimes. You cannot put their name into the public record. You will smear them. But the Democrats don't care. Okay, they have one thing on their minds, and that's the Russia collusion, delusion, confusion, conspiracy. Several weeks ago, I sent document requests to 81 individuals and entities as part of the House Judiciary Committee investigation into abuse of power, corruption, and obstruction of justice by the president, Nadler said in the statement. Regrettably, not everyone has chosen to voluntarily cooperate with the committee at this time. I am particularly concerned about reports that documents relevant to the special counsel investigation were sent outside the White House, waiving applicable privileges. To this end, I have asked the committee to authorize me to issue subpoenas if necessary to compel the production of documents and testimony, Nadler said. President Trump blasted the crazed Democrats on Monday morning. No matter what information is given to the crazed Democrats from the no collusion Mueller report, it will never be good enough. Behind closed doors, the Dems are laughing. That's right. They are laughing because they know it will never be good enough. They're just going to keep going. They're going to push it to 2020. And then if that doesn't work, they're going to push it to 2024. Attorney General Bill Barr told Congress in a letter on Friday that the special counsel is assisting him with redactions prior to releasing the report to the public. Barr released a 4-page summary of Mueller's principal conclusions last weekend, revealing the special counsel found that Trump did not conspire with the Kremlin during the 2016 presidential election. No collusion and no obstruction of justice. Mueller's team interviewed 500 witnesses and issued 2,800 subpoenas in an investigation that spanned over 675 days with a total of 19 high-powered lawyers. But this isn't enough for top Democrats such as Nadler, Schiff, and Mad Maxine Waters. They will continue to harass President Trump until he's out of office. Nadler, the Democrats, they're on borrowed time, and they know it. But the thing is, the blockade has been removed. The Mueller report is going to be released, albeit with necessary redactions. And they're going to try to say that that's not good enough. Well, we need to see what's in this section, what's in this section, what's in this section. Just like Rudy Giuliani said over the weekend, they've got their own 87-page dossier about the illegal actions taken by the Obama administration and the people in the DOJ and the FBI. And that's going to have to come out. All right? So that will come out. And then maybe they'll have something else to focus on. Also, I just want to say, it's hilarious to me that Robert Mueller was, essentially Christ himself, walking on water. He could do no wrong. And then as soon as he didn't deliver exactly what they wanted, we're going to have to subpoena Mueller. We're going to have to subpoena Mueller. What's he covering up? What did Barr make him cover up? What is he not telling us? Well, you guys, sit on your hands and wait for the report because you're going to find out. Major cringe. James Comey's bizarre April Fool's tweet falls flat. Fired FBI Director James Comey posted a bizarre April Fool's tweet on Monday, and it flopped. Comey posted a photo of himself standing in the middle of a road with a caption, "I'm in. We need someone in the middle. #2020. as if he were announcing his 2020 bid for the White House. Eye roll. You guys, can you see the emoji right now? A couple hours later, after massive backlash for his awkward, unfunny tweet, Comey followed up by taking a shot at President Trump and told people to vote Dem in 2020. But could you imagine a president who used this website to make dad jokes and then, rather than to hurl insults? Happy April Fools. Vote Dem 2020. Major cringe. How many likes did he get? Well, that one, the follow-up got 21,000 likes. Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what James Comey actually got in terms of engagement. 22,000 likes. Ooh, 1.9 thousand retweets. 2,000 comments. Oh, that was that one. 26,000, 3.6. Meh. Not so bad, I guess. But James Comey, I thought he had a much higher following than this. Ooh, look, his book is out in paperback now because they couldn't sell it in hardcover. You know what's funny is that Twitter responded. Let's see. Is this supposed to be funny? In the middle of the FBI corruption and plot to take down President Trump, yes, you are definitely in the middle of that, Liz. Mark Dice, it wouldn't be an April Fool's Day without Mark Dice. April Fool's jokes are supposed to be funny, Mr. Comey. Tim Young, delete your account. Investigative reporter Sarah Carter blasted Comey for his juvenile behavior and string of bizarre cryptic tweets, considering all the information we are discovering about his corruption and role in removing President Trump from office. I don't know if you're sending cryptic messages, just playing an April Fool's joke, or seriously considering running for office, Comey. I'm actually stunned that you continue to put out these very strange tweets, considering all the information we are discovering about your role at the FBI. Burn. Gotcha, Jim. Wrecked. Gotcha. Comey previously posted a picture of himself standing in a forest shortly after Mueller concluded his Russia investigation, confirming Trump did not conspire with the Russians during the 2016 election. And this guy was the director of our premier law enforcement agency. So, my friend Ben actually blew this picture up and kind of like lightened the colors a little bit. And I know that right here, this looks like a big tree stump. But when you blow it up, it kind of looks like maybe it's like a deer blind or something like that. Like it's got like a drape cloth that is meant to look like camouflage, like the forest. I don't know. I mean, I can't really tell. I keep looking at it, and right here, it definitely looks like a tree trunk. But when you blow it up, sorry guys, let's get a little closer here. Here we go. When you blow it up, and then look at it, kind of looks like it's a box. Kind of looks like it's a box with like a blind. I don't know. Maybe this is Jim Comey's SHTF spot. Who knows? Yeah, I thought I was going to have to find some funny stories for April Fools, but apparently they just write themselves. But of course, it is a serious day as well. Breaking. DHS Secretary orders emergency surge of Border Patrol agents amid illegal alien invasion. Yes, this is exactly what we need. On Monday morning, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen ordered an emergency surge of Border Patrol agents amid the illegal alien invasion. In a statement, DHS Chief Nielsen ordered CBP Commissioner Kevin McAleenan to implement emergency surge operations to reallocate 750 officers to the border. The crisis at our border is worsening, and DHS will do everything in its power to end it, Nielsen said in a written statement. We will not stand idly by while Congress fails to act yet again. So all options are on the table. We will immediately redeploy hundreds of CBP personnel to the border to respond to this emergency. We will urgently pursue additional reinforcement from within DHS and the interagency, and we will require those seeking to enter the United States to wait in Mexico until an immigration court has reviewed their claims. The Hill reported Nielsen has also directed CBP to expand the migrant protection protocols, a DHS plan to return migrants to Mexico while they wait for their day in immigration court. Under Nielsen's directive, CBP will return hundreds more migrants per day to Mexico, including those caught at or between points of entry, according to the DHS. Very good. Nielsen further ordered the agency to plan to expand the MPP plan beyond California and Texas, the locations where it currently operates. President Trump tweeted late Saturday night, Homeland Security is being so very nice, but not for long. The Democrats are allowing a ridiculous asylum system and major loopholes to remain as a mainstay of our immigration system. Mexico is likewise doing nothing but very bad combination for our country. Homeland Security is being so very nice, but not for long. The U.S. Border Patrol is being forced to restart catch and release at the border because there isn't enough bed space to hold illegal aliens, and under the law, they cannot be immediately sent back across the border. A record surge at the U.S.-Mexico border is forcing Border Patrol agents to directly release illegal aliens into communities for the first time since the Bush administration. Over 100,000 illegals will be detained in the U.S.-Mexico border in March alone. This is an invasion. President Trump recently declared a national emergency to secure funding for a border wall, and both Democrats and Republicans are pushing back against the president. Huge caravans of Central American migrants have marched up through Mexico to the U.S. border, which has overwhelmed the asylum system, and another caravan is on the way. The U.S. is projected to add about 1.5 million illegals, Democrat voters, to the American population by the end of 2019 should the current rates of border crossing and visa overstays continue, reported Breitbart. The situation at the border is so dire that even Obama's DHS chief Jay Johnson acknowledged there truly is a crisis at the southern border. I was very surprised when Jay Johnson did that over the weekend. This really, really is a very dangerous situation. You cannot have that many people coming into this country and consider it anything other than an invasion. And people who tell you that it's anything other are either stupid or they are complicit in this criminal activity. Or perhaps they just don't care. They have no sense of self-preservation or a sense to preserve or a need to preserve the country and our liberty and our rights and our freedoms and our lives. Our very lives are at stake. Okay? Ask Kate Steinle. Well, did you guys catch that MSNBC town hall? Alexandria Occasional-Cortex said so many stupid things at one time it was hard to keep up. Do you think it's a coincidence that she chose to wear red lipstick? And look at Time magazine propping her up. The Phenom. How Alexandria Occasional-Cortex became America's lightning rod. Changing the climate fight for the worse. It's hard to keep up with the dumb things that come out of Representative Alexandria Occasional-Cortex's mouth. And she's got so many outlets, it's sometimes near impossible. There's Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and the endless TV appearances in which fawning sycophants in the media positively gush over every word. And the media really do love the 29-year-old former bartender. On Friday, MSNBC gave the first-term lawmaker who's been in office less than 3 months an entire hour to spout her silliness in a town hall. With host Chris Hayes lobbing up softball questions, AOC riffed on global warming and, of course, cow farts. The end of the world, 12 years, people. We've only got 12 years. And even claimed the Constitution was altered to prevent Franklin Delano Roosevelt from running for another term. Once again, wrong. On the environmental health of the world, she really is a deep thinker. We need to innovate on our technology. You know, like, obviously, I had a staffer, release a document, talking about cow flatulence, but she said, go on, Muffin. Which is an issue, I just want to say, Fond Hayes. Which is an issue. I just want to say that, said Chris Hayes. But here's the thing, Democrat Socialist said. But here's the thing, the Democrat Socialist said. That doesn't mean you end cows, she said as the audience broke out in laughter. What it means is that we need to innovate and change our grain, our cow grain, from which, they feed in these troughs, Occasional Cortex said. We really need to take a look at regenerative agriculture. Like, these are our solutions. Like, totally, you know? Once again, the lawmakers, citing the findings of an intergovernmental panel on climate change report, claimed that the whole world will end in 12 years unless drastic action is taken to address climate change. We have an expiration date, and the IPCC report says we've got 12 years to turn it around, guys, she said. 12 years! So my concern is that, like, we're going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water, and we're going to debate and debate and debate and debate. And to anyone who disagrees with her, AOC has a clear message. You're privileged. We don't have time for 5 years of half-baked, watered-down position, she said. This is urgent. And to, like, think that we have time is such a privileged and removed from reality attitude. On FDR, Occasional Cortex said Republican lawmakers changed the Constitution in order to keep him from being reelected. They had to amend the Constitution of the United States to make sure Roosevelt did not get reelected, she said. Said Hayes. The Boston University alumnus who graduated cum laude after majoring in international relations and economics was apparently referring to the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution, which reads, "No person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice." The amendment was passed in 1947. The problem is, FDR died in 1945. Okay, you guys, you get it. She is stupid is as stupid does. She has absolutely zero solutions. She speaks in these broad platitudes, which are really not very even thick at all. She is talking about the need for things without giving us a solution for them. So unless we debate, Alexandria, I don't know how we're ever going to figure anything out. And as long as you are the person who's in charge making the decisions, all you're doing is telling people that they have to make a decision. Well, this is the very definition of communism. Either you do this or you die. And that's where we're going, all right? She is leading the spear. She is the tip of the spear in the scourge of bringing communism to the forefront here in America. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl with a pretty face and a hollow, rattle-out brain, okay? There's nothing going on upstairs, and it doesn't matter how much lipstick you put on. Doesn't matter how much lipstick you put on a pig. It's still a pig, all right? And communism is still communism, whether you call it democratic socialism or whatever. Awkward. MSNBC producers correct Rachel Maddow as she spreads more Russia investigation conspiracy theories. This was awkward. Top Trump Russia conspiracy theorist Rachel Maddow was debunked by her own Chiron as she continued to spread more lies about Mueller's Russia investigation. MSNBC producers corrected Rachel Maddow while she lied to her audience about Attorney General Bill Barr's plan to release Mueller's report with redactions. Maddow falsely claimed Bill Barr would be going through Mueller's report himself, unilaterally choosing what to redact before the report is released to the public. It's hard to believe that they, Mueller's team, would be leaving the newly appointed 68-year-old Attorney General William Barr to himself personally pick through the report to try to figure out what mentions in his 400-page report might pertain to open cases, Maddow stated, as the Chiron underneath her correctly stated, Barr, special counsel, is assisting with redactions. Maddow continued to lie. They wouldn't do that. Mueller would have done that. Mueller's team would have done that as part of producing anything they had handed over outside their own offices. They've done that with every other document they have produced in the course of this investigation. You'd assume they'd be able to do that with this document too, but William Barr says, it's taking them a really long time because he's having to do all that himself. Bill Barr's letter to Congress clearly states that the special counsel will be assisting him with redactions. We are preparing the report for release, making the redactions that are required. The special counsel is assisting us in the process, Barr wrote on Friday. No wonder why Rachel Maddow's ratings plummeted since Mueller concluded there was no Trump-Russia collusion. Maddow is a shameless liar. Let's listen.
This is a thing that Mueller's team does in its sleep. It is hard to believe that they'd leave the newly appointed 68-year-old Attorney General William Barr to himself personally pick through the report to try to figure out what mentions in this 400-page report might pertain to open cases. They wouldn't leave that to Barr to do that. Mueller would have done that. Mueller's team would have done that as part of producing anything that they handed over outside their own offices. They've done that with every other document they have produced in the course of this investigation. You'd assume they'd be able to do that for this document too. But William Barr says, it's taken him a really long time because he's having to do all that himself.
All right, so my question now is MSNBC fact-checking her? Are they correcting her? Or are they knowingly allowing her to spread this false information and just hoping that the majority of their viewers are not going to be reading the chyron on the bottom of the screen? Glenn Greenwald said, "This is truly shocking. No matter how low your expectations are now for MSNBC and Maddow, just watch it and see for yourself how completely dislodged she is from any semblance of rationality, journalistic responsibility, or even basic honesty. It's sad to watch. There are victims." Very true. Glenn Greenwald, the lone voice of reason on the left in the United States. Wow, Kim Foxx has really stirred up a poop storm for herself, and Jussie Smollett's career is over. Over the weekend, Chris Rock mocked him at the NAACP Image Awards. Apparently, he was told not to do any Jussie Smollett jokes. Well, he went on stage. He said, "What the HE double hockey sticks was he thinking? You're not Jussie anymore. The U was for respect. Now you're Jesse to me because you're not going to get any respect from me." He said, what? He said, "What was he thinking? Can you imagine if I had that light skin? What a waste of that light skin." He said, "I'd be ruling effing Hollywood right now with that curly hair and that light skin." It was really funny. And apparently even Saturday Night Live did a sketch about the Jussie Smollett case. I think that once Saturday Night Live starts talking badly about you, that is the death knell, okay? Because that means that the left no longer takes him seriously. They know that Jussie Smollett is guilty, all right? And they obviously have gone from supporting him to now wanting to demonize him. So, they can say whatever they want about Trump because we know it's not true. But now that they're talking about something that really is true, we already know it, and now the left are going to know it too. This is probably going to be a big eye-opener for them. Well, as I was saying about Kim Foxx, she's really made a problem for herself and for Jussie Smollett. There were hundreds rallying against her today at the state's attorney's office in Chicago. They were chanting, "Fox must go. Fox must go." Chicago police are furious after Kim Foxx's office abruptly dropped all 16 felony charges against hate hoaxer Jussie Smollett in a stunning display of lawlessness on Tuesday. The Chicago Police Union want a federal investigation into Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx's handling of Smollett's case after text messages revealed she was communicating with Jussie Smollett's relatives and supporters about their concerns over his case. The Chicago Police Union, Fraternal Order of Police, announced on Friday they were holding a protest of corrupt Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx on Monday. Look at that. They even made a flyer. On Monday, hundreds of police and police supporters protested in downtown Chicago against Kim Foxx. Hundreds of police supporters are at the rally today. "I'm glad people are going to defend State's Attorney Kim Foxx for tossing Jussie Smollett's case, but we need to do more than that. We need to be demanding more from Fox. We need more cases to be diverted from the criminal justice system. We need more cases to be dismissed." Oh my God. Okay, so this is a troll. And then agitator-in-chief. Blue Lives Matter flags, MAGA hard. Chicago police officers and racist aldermen Sposato and Napolitano protesting State's Attorney Kim Foxx for doing the right thing and dropping the charges against Jussie Smollett. It's gotta be a joke. Oh, the protesters are chanting, "Fox must go." Let's take a listen. Jesse Jackson is holding a protest in support of Jussie Smollett and his fake hate crimes at the same time today. I wonder how many people were there in support versus the people who were protesting against. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I want to thank everyone for joining me. I hope you all had a good weekend. I know I did. I'm feeling very rested. I missed my dogs, and Muffin has been sitting in my lap nonstop since I got home. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone, and God bless.